Hi Sagittarius, this is your tarot reading for 2022. There will be 12 cards, no reversals. Each card will represent a month. So let's get started. January. You have Temperance. Nine of Cups, Four of Pentacles, Five of Swords. So this is January, February, March, and April. First 4 months of the year. This is Ten of Pentacles for May, Seven of Cups for June, Ten of Swords for July, the Star, Hope, and that's for August, the King of Cups for September, the Wheel of the Year for October, Death for November, and then Nine of Wands for December. Okay, so it looks pretty interesting here. The first thing next to the major arcana that kind of, let me adjust my light here. The thing that catches my eye next to the major arcana is these cups here. And I'm just trying to understand what's going on with them because, yeah, cups I usually associate with a romance or relationship. But I also feel that there's some other things that you're emotionally attached to that are probably going on. Not necessarily a relationship, but the way you care for people in your life, the way you take care of people, the way you love, basically. And so cups don't necessarily have to signal a relationship, but I'm not going to strike it out. I think for a lot of you Sagittarians, there could be some water confronting your fire. And you are a fire sign. I've also noticed that you only have one wand, the Nine of Wands here. This is the card of learning lessons. Sorry, had to let my cat out. So, yeah, the cups are interesting, and I will definitely get to those pretty soon. The major arcana that you have is pretty interesting. You have four of them. You have Temperance, which is about peace and healing. Then you have, and you begin your year with Temperance. Healing, finding balance, as so many of us during this pandemic are doing. So we go from peace and healing, and then we have the Star, which is about hope and optimism. These are two lovely cards, and guess what? They're going to carry you through the rest of the year, especially when in October you have the Wheel of the Year, and it's followed by Death. Now, as always, I do a disclaimer because people get upset when they see something like Death. But I think, one, this is a pretty strong pairing because the Wheel of the Year is signaling big, big change.
and you can't fight it. It's, you know, you see the seasons here represented. It just means that there are things, people come in your life and they pass out and you can't control it. You just have to accept. What is it that you have to accept? That with this wheel of the year, with this turn in a chapter in your life, and a new age, a new era, a new time in your life is approaching. Death follows up because death is about endings of things that need to end or were meant to end, and then a resurrection. So I always tell people, yes, seeing something like death signals that things are coming to a close. It's never nice to see that because we tend to want to hold on and keep things the same for some of us. But death is about change. And I'm not talking about physical death. Lord knows that, goodness knows that we've been just dealing with so much of it these past 2 years. But definitely we are all in our personal lives confronting change and having to adjust and having to accept things the way they are. And I think that's what's going on here for October and November. And then, of course, December, where you end up, this is 9 of Wands. That's about learning from your mistakes. It's a be on guard against trouble. So just know that near the end of the year, things have this nice flowing balance, emotional optimism. And it could be that death is going to bring some good news. It seems like throughout the year with Temperance and the Star, and then you've got a King of Cups with a Ten of Pentacles, love and peace in the family. It looks like this actually might be a good thing. That, you know, death could be bringing to an end some money issues. It could be bringing to an end a toxic job. It could be signaling a new job for you, moving somewhere that's much nicer. So, yes, looking at all that's been coming before, yes, you might think death is a terrible thing, but it's about the change, and it's about the consequential resurrection, the birth of new things. Death always brings new things with it. So, having said that, these months of the year, you have a lot of 9s and 10s as well. You have a 10 of Swords and a 10 of Pentacles. You have a 9 of Cups here and a 9 of Wands here. So 9s and 10s are very important because 9s and 10s are also very high numbers that signal the end of a cycle. So in tarot, you begin with the Ace, which means brand new. When you get to the number 10, it means that things are old and they're about to change over. So these high numbers here, a 10 of Pentacles, meaning wealth and prosperity with your family. It's not that the prosperity will end. It's that you've reached sort of like a peak in your finances. Your home is happy, your family's happy. You've reached the end of this financial zenith in your life, so to speak. And then it's followed by that 10 of Swords, which means things getting as bad as they can get. And it's interesting that it's followed by the Star. So whatever happens here with this 10 of Swords, as far as being stabbed in the back or betrayal or something very toxic and dysfunctional going on with your life, if that's happening, the Star is going to follow in August to reassure you that it'll all work out. Even when the Wheel of the Year and Death follow, this is a major Arcana card, is the Temperance card, just like these two. And major Arcana cards make major predictions in your story. So this is telling you be optimistic, but prepare for change. And you have a King of Cups here as well. The King of Cups is about love and action. It's about
not only action, but kings call the shots. Okay? And he represents someone who's loving, a loving father figure, a counselor. And the King of Cups also is introspective as well. So I feel like you're going to be in your feelings a lot, but not necessarily in a romantic way. It just means that emotionally you're grappling with people changing in your life, people changing for good, people changing for better, and you have to just roll with it. Same thing for a job. Some of you might be in toxic jobs that you're ready to leave. So, like I said, it seems, Sagittarius, this is about you being in your feelings and, not wanting to lose the security that's been happening for most of the year. So looking at the first 4 months, we have Temperance, and then we have a Nine of Cups, which is about happiness and contentment with family and friends and the people you love. It's also about an active social calendar. So this is in February. So for some of you, there could be a lot of romantic activity here. When we get to that Four of Pentacles, we're pulling back. And sometimes this is seen as a selfish card because you see the guy holding on. He's not willing to let go of any of the pentacles. His boundaries are up. So that's already setting up letting go later on. That's what I feel. That you have these moments of emotional contentment, but the Oracle is also telling you that you want things to stay the same, this same happy energy, this contentment. But the Oracle is trying to tell you that things in your material world and in your family and friends, you're going to have to let go of certain things. And when you don't let go, then yes, we do have that Five of Swords. And this is a card of winning and losing, humiliation, and making a comeback. And that's the nice thing about this Five of Swords. It is about not winning a war or not winning something you wanted really, really bad. But it's also about picking up and moving forward. You can't win them all. So expect the undercurrents of this to head into the summer where you have your prosperity. But then we have an emotional choice here. And I think some of this, it could be seen as procrastination, but you have this magician here telling you that you have to make a choice. What about an emotional choice? And you can't procrastinate any longer. So that's another part of the story that I'm seeing for you, Sagittarius. I'm seeing you holding on and putting things off or being unwilling to confront certain people in your life that are toxic, and you have to do that. It's unavoidable. So the betrayal, the falling out, whatever's happening here, it needed to happen because it feels like maybe some of you Sagittarians might have been avoiding a very touchy issue with a loved one. And so after this devastating blow of the Ten of Swords, you have the Star, which is about coming out of this with renewed hope and optimism. And that's in August. September, you have that King of Cups, still optimism. You're looking inward. You're discovering what fills your emotional needs, right? That brings us to the Wheel of the Year. Things change. Death brings something to an end. And then Nine of Wands, these changes might be a little chaotic, so we're on our guard. So take everything as it comes, Sagittarians. And I know that a couple of other readings ended the year on a pretty ambiguous note, like, wow, is this bad or is it good? And a kind of somber note too. But I don't think you should be feeling
like your whole year is for nothing. You're still going to be okay through all of this. But like anything in life, you have to accept change. You have to accept letting go, things that are beyond your control. And that feels like that's probably what's going to be happening in your year. So you'll be fine. But it seems to be something that is a growth experience for you this year, as everybody. And it feels like the oracle through this reading is just trying to prepare you, like everybody during this pandemic, that there are things that are going to change for the better. You might not like it, but you do need to just be prepared. And again, know what you can control, know what you can't control. You can't control people, you can't control circumstances, but you can control your choice. And as long as you know how to make the right choices, you'll be fine. And that was your reading for 2022. I hope you found it helpful. I wish you a wonderful new year. I hope you're happy, healthy, and safe. And I will see you again, don't worry. I wish you love and light.